but I think the momentum is definitely with Harris. And I still think it's going to be a close race. Trump has a real base. He has real intensity. But the playing field is widened back out. I do agree with Natalie. Michigan, which loves women candidates, is definitely looking very good. But these are all battleground states. A lot's going to depend on turnout. A lot's going to depend on the work that gets done. And people still don't know Harris that well, but I'm very excited with the momentum being our way. Right now, all of the polls are about dead even in the battleground states. Michigan, we're ahead. Pennsylvania, we're still a little bit behind, and that's been one of the tougher states. And the older the state is, the tougher it is, because Harris is doing very well with people of color, younger people, younger women. But she's fallen a little bit behind, actually, where Biden was doing with seniors and 50 to 60-year-olds. So we've got to get those older voters on board.
So let me. I want to come back to talking about the race, but I want to clarify for folks the role you're playing and what's happening in the reshuffle with Dave Binder and others. How is the polling working for the campaign and the DNC? What's your role, and how would you describe how it's working?
Yeah, well, I think it's working great, and it's a great team. And David Binder's got a long relationship with the VP and just a fantastic pollster, and obviously involved in all of the Harris polling before, and heavily involved in the focus groups for Biden during the administration and all of the Obama polling. So the team's fantastic. All of the roles, including our own, are being sorted out. But right now we're doing some special projects.
Got it. Okay. Do you think that we're in a universe, or likely to stay in a universe, where the 7 original battlegrounds are where this will be decided, that there's no 8th or 9th state, it's just those 7?
I think that's right. And I think that, and General Manager Dillon is really good at that, the way to lose a battleground state is to get spread too thin. So if other states follow, that's great, and hallelujah. And if it's the blowout that Natalie predicted, I love it. But I think that staying focused, 7's already a big battleground, particularly when you got 95 days left or whatever we have. It's an expensive battleground. So I think it's really smart to stay focused on these races. And you need infrastructure. You need get out the vote. You need one-on-one persuasion, and you need television. It's not just coming in and buying it on TV anymore or buying it on social media. So I think that it's real smart to stay focused on the 7 and not get overextended.
You mentioned the importance of the older voters, the sort of general conventional wisdom about polling in the transition from Biden to Harris is that she has more work to do with older voters, but she may be able to make that up with the parts of the Obama coalition, younger voters, more diverse voters. Is that conventional wisdom true? And if so, how can you be confident that she's going to net positive in that exchange?
Well, I think that we're not taking anything for granted, and the campaign's working both ends. But yes, I do think that's a dynamic. I think the other dynamic you're likely to see, you could easily see a record gender gap with women and men differing in their votes in record amounts. And you're already seeing that emerge in some of the states. And the formula for Democrats to win any close race is to win women by more than you lose men.
Right. Is the conventional wisdom that now we're likely to see higher turnout, maybe significantly higher turnout overall, you think likely true, or not necessarily as compared to when it was Biden-Trump?
Oh, well, definitely higher than Biden-Trump in 2024.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It may return to what were high levels previously. I don't know that it'll be record high, but we were looking at underperforming, and so now we're looking at performing at, and Democrats are now as enthusiastic as Republicans.
Last question for you, and again, please stay with us and jump in anytime you want. Again, conventional wisdom is the swing voters in the swing states are people who don't necessarily have much of a view of Vice President Harris, and that the battle to define her really is where this election is likely to be won or lost. Is that true?
Yeah, I think that is true. Although there are a couple of things that really work to the VP's, to Vice President Harris's advantage. One is people are really open to her. They're eager for change. And now she represents change, and he represents the old white guy. secondly, people love what they hear about her, and they really love her DA record, her AG record. They're making more distinction than I thought they might make between what her orientation is and what the Biden record was. So she really has the ability to define herself. And then, and it ties back to her AG record very ably. The thing that also is working in our favor is I think that I am flabbergasted at how inept and how flummoxed Donald Trump is in terms of running against her. And his tone is just way, way out of line for women voters anyway. And I think that they're floundering around. They're calling her something different every day. They've got a very flawed vice presidential candidate themselves. So I think that it's really astounding to me that he has not hit his stride in a better way on how to run against her. He's clearly afraid of her because he's ducking debates.